Hey guys! Okay, so this week we will be discussing this man right here. Well, that's a pretty silly cartoon of him. His name is Benjamin Franklin. He is one of the founding fathers of our country, and what people don't really know about him is that he was not just a politician. He was a printer, a musician, a writer, a diplomat, a statesman, a postmaster, a humorist, a scientist, an inventor, a traveler, a philosopher, a humanitarian, and a cartoonist. And so this week we're going to read all about Benjamin Franklin, and we're going to start with this book. It's called Now and Ben, The Modern Inventions of Benjamin Franklin. Some of his inventions. Probably have seen some of these. We have odometers in our car today, the lightning rod to protect buildings, the bifocal glasses used by many, daylight savings time still used today. You guys may have heard of the Declaration of Independence, which he signed and helped create. And let's see, something else. Oh, how about those heroes, those fire department? And he developed one of the first fire departments in the United States. Okay. Now and then we think about Ben, Dr. Benjamin Franklin to be precise, and we think about his many inventions he originated more than 200 years ago. Here is his family, his wife Deborah, his daughter Sally, his son Will, and his son Francis. It was as if Ben could see into the future. Almost everything he created is still around today. For instance, now our newspapers are filled with illustrations. Ben was the first to print a political cartoon in America. The cartoon encouraged the American colonies to join together or to die like the disconnected snake. This is how newspapers used to be formed. They used to have to create a stamp, and that stamp would be used by this machine here in the picture, and that machine would stamp all the words on the newspaper to create the many different copies needed. Now, bifocal glasses are very common. Bifocals combine two sets of lenses into one pair of glasses. The bottom lens helps you see near, and the top lens helps you see far. Ben originally designed bifocals for himself after he got tired of switching between two pairs of glasses because he struggled with seeing far away and he struggled with seeing close up. Now, our world relies on electricity. In the 18th century, many people still believed that lightning was an act of anger and punishment from God. Ben was one of the first scientists to discover the true nature of electricity and how to use it. He learned that lightning is electricity when he attached a small metal wire to the top of a kite and gathered electricity from a storm cloud. Pretty dangerous, if you ask me. Now, many buildings use lightning rods to protect against lightning strikes. Ben invented the lightning rod and was the first to use it. The pointed iron rod acts like a magnet and grabs the approaching lightning bolt from the sky before it can strike the roof. The electricity then travels down a long wire into the ground. It prevents fires and keeps dangerous amounts of electricity away from the house. Once the electricity hits the ground, it is diffused and is no longer able to light things on fire. Now, this gadget goes by many names, such as the grabber. Everyone has seen one. It's the long stick that helps grab items from out-of-reach places. Ben invented the original device and called it the long arm because it worked like a very long arm. Now, swimmers and divers use flippers to move faster through the water. Ben invented things when he was a boy. He was an avid swimmer and built wooden flippers for both his hands and feet. Now, ships travel across the Gulf Stream to take advantage of the faster current. Have you seen these ships traveling in our waters outside of Benicia? Embleo. Ben measured, charted, and publicized the Gulf Stream during his 8 voyages across the Atlantic Ocean by a much different ship than this one. Now we understand the benefit and accept the benefits of vitamin C. Ben was an early promoter of eating citrus fruits to help prevent a disease called scurvy. Now for a musical interlude. Ben invented this glass harmonica. He was able to create music by simply touching his wet fingers to a row of spinning glass bowls. Mozart and Beethoven were so moved by its sounds that they composed for the instrument. Today, glass harmonicas are very rare. You are more likely to find one in a museum than in a music store. Now, our fireplaces are very efficient and easy to use. Ben improved on the primitive fireplaces of his day when he designed the Pennsylvania fireplace. Later, it was called the Franklin stove. He built it with iron to contain the heat from a fire log long after the logs were burned. It also sat away from the wall to heat the room more evenly. The smoke ventilation was not perfect, but later inventors improved it. Before Ben's fireplace, indoor smoke could be suffocating. Now, chairs come in all shapes and sizes. Ben designed two chairs that are still very useful. The writing chair combined a desk and a chair into one. And there are many, when you get into the older grades, high school and college, most of your desks will look like that. They'll all be connected. The library chair was a combination chair and stepladder. Now, everyone has seen a rocking chair, but not many have seen Dr. Franklin's rocking chairs. Ben invented one rocking chair with a fan on top and one that churned butter each time that you rocked. Now, every year we observe daylight savings time, which means we set our clocks ahead 1 hour in the springtime. As a result, it stays darker longer in the morning when most people are sleeping and stays light longer at the end of the day, so we can save more energy. In the fall, we return the clocks to standard time. Ben suggested this idea in one of his essays as a way to save money by burning fewer candles. Farmers could also gain more work time in the evening. Daylight savings time was not officially practiced until World War I, more than 100 years after Benjamin Franklin. As for clocks, Ben designed the first clock with a second hand. Funny enough, funny story, Mrs. Smith and you in my first year class, we have a clock in our room with a second hand, but the second hand has been broken the entire time that Mrs. Smith has been in St. Dominic's. So when you go to school, you'll see that it is permanently pointing to the number 9. I don't think Ben wanted it to do that. Now, every automobile has an odometer to measure the distance it travels. That's the mileage. Check out the odometer in your car today. Ben invented the odometer when he was a postmaster general so that he could measure his postal routes. Let's look at what he's holding. Let's look at this bag. What do you think a postmaster general does? It's an early form of a mailman. A postmaster general now would not necessarily deliver the mail. They would probably run the post office. But he was an early form of a person who delivers the mail. Now, almost every community, every large community, includes a library, a hospital, a post office, a fire department, and a sanitation department. Ben lived in a city that had none of these establishments, so he helped organize the first one of each. The first sanitation, which is like garbage, the library for books, the hospital, the post office, and the fire company. Check out that old-timey fire engine. Look, it's run by a horse. Now and then, we owe thanks to Ben for his important inventions, but many would agree that his greatest accomplishments came in the form of documents that helped shape the world. Ben had a pivotal role in developing America's Constitution, the Treaty of Alliance with France, and the Treaty of Peace with England, and the Declaration of Independence. It's remarkable that one man could achieve so much in a lifetime. He has certainly helped to form the modern world. Will his contributions help to form the future? Do you think the future will look like that, guys? Do you think that the post office will be called the post sector? And look, this is the scrap vacuum. So that's the trash, but it's going to be sucked up by a vacuum. And here is still the library, but it looks like a rocket ship. And this is a tube o' treats. So that's maybe how we'll get our foods, from a tube o' treats. And here are some other inventions by Ben. Okay, I hope you have enjoyed learning about Ben today. We're going to read more about him as the week goes on. See you soon, guys.